Hello, Bible believers, unbelievers, and hypocrites all around the world. This is Joseph Armstrong, continuing my review of the Scholarship-Only Controversy by Dr. Peter S Ruckman, refuting the book known as the King James Only Controversy. Can you trust the modern translations by Dr. James R. White? I have no idea what he did his thesis on to get his degree, but it was definitely not King James Onlyism. He probably couldn't write a master's on that. So anyways, just got done watching a couple of James White's videos, where one of them is where on his radio program, I think, he bashes Steven Anderson, who is, I think he's a nut, personally. He should not be praying that Obama die. That's for sure. I think he's just a little bit, yeah. So, but anyways, and then there was three other ones. There was three videos that he did on number one of Sam Gipp's Why the King James Bible or something like that. And by the way, today this is my ratty here shirt, and I also have not shaved, seeing as I don't have to work till tomorrow morning, and I didn't have to work yesterday. So yeah, that's just me. Just to let y'all know that. I watched those three videos, and I'm like, man, this guy is so deceitful. He sounds convincing. He's got an attitude problem, but he sounds really convincing. And earlier, way earlier, like maybe 8 months ago, something like that, no. Maybe earlier than that, I was able to watch those videos, and I was able to say, well, no perfect substitute, so he's not giving me anything else. Where is this guy taking me? And he sounds good. He has sweet words and fair speeches to, I think it's deceive the hearts of the simple. I think that's the Bible quote. And he does that very well. I was watching him, and I listened to his history and stuff like that, and his talking, well, yeah, we'll get to that later. His talking sounds really good. His brief histories and stuff like that. This is a long quote. But I guess I'll talk about that first. I've got about 21 minutes, depending whether or not my mom decides to bring my second cousins in sooner or later. Which I'm guessing it would be sooner, because I can hear them out there right now. Hi, Asher. I'm making a video. How are you doing? Yeah, I know. I'll see you in a little while, okay? Anyways, we'll probably read this quote, and maybe I'll talk about the videos. It'd be nice to do a little refutation of that. He talks a lot about no Greek manuscript reading exactly as the King James Bible. It's like, well, duh. I think that everybody knew that. Generalizations, I think, are fine, and I think that Sam Gipp is fine in using his Greek manuscripts to show what went, how much went a certain way, how much was accepted. I'm not sure, I don't think that all the Byzantine manuscripts just came fresh off the press from Byzantium in, like, I think it was 1456 or 1546, something like that, when Constantinople fell. I had to memorize it for a history class, and now I've forgotten it. But anyways, we'll get into this quote. Nowhere in either testament does the Holy Spirit ever recommend, condemn, or encourage any saint on earth to be scholarly, intellectual, or independent of God in regards to choices, preferences, or decisions of any kind. Genesis 3:17, 1 Samuel 15:20 through 26. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. What kind of pagan rubbish was the stock and trade of the unsaved Greek philosophers who fancied they were wiser than Solomon? 1 Corinthians 1 through 13, Colossians 2:8. If any of the pious jerks up to the 20th century were real biblical scholars, they would know at the start that all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge are not to be found in searching variants or pretending that scribes were tempted to add or to be found in reading theological trash like the RV, the RSV, NRSV, ASV, NASV, and NIV. They are found in Colossians 2:3, apart, disconnected from and totally separated from every intellectual that attacked the AV since 1800. See the Anti-Intellectual Manifesto, Peter S Ruckman, Pensacola Bible Baptist Bookstore, 1991. And this paragraph, which is pretty long and runs about into a little bit more than half of 180. And in this video, like in the Steve Anderson one, I'm not criticizing Dr. Ruckman for using I don't know where anyone has ever used bold, italics, capitalized, underlined. I don't know, but apparently James White's seen that somewheres. I don't see it in here anywheres. I see italics every once in a while. I don't think I've ever really seen underlined. Capital? Yeah. Bold capital? Yeah. Especially in Bible quotes. And all the Bible quotes are capitalized, or not capitalized, are bolded, and then some of them are all capitalized. I think, if memory serves me correctly, then they are. Or there are some. Starting in the next paragraph. Did you catch little Jimmy lying about Bible believers, and telling you that they will not let you examine their Bible? That's what James White said on the videos. He said that the King James only position with manuscripts and stuff like that cannot be examined. It can't be touched, and they don't want you to touch it. Those stinking King James onlys want to keep it a big secret. Yeah, and then he pretends that he has freedom and all this stuff in looking in the footnotes of his critical text. I guess it's called the apparatus or something like that down at the bottom, where it lists some of the manuscripts and the textual the variants that they use to determine what the thing would say. And he pretends to have freedom and have everything above board and not have mystery Babylon the Great in his life or in his practice because he has those little footnotes. Yeah. Try the spirits, man. Try them. I recommend that you examine it at least 6 times a year, preferably 12. Furthermore, I recommend you examine it according to its own standards and by any standard anyone else hypothesizes. That sounds pretty fair to me. That sounds flat and fair. Examine it 6 to 12 times a year, preferably 12. Furthermore, I recommend you examine it according to its own standards and by any standard anyone else hypothesizes. And James White said that the Bible doesn't give us any what was it, standards or rules, or I can't remember the word he used. No right method. I don't remember what, but it doesn't give us any standard for textual criticism. It doesn't tell us how to make the correct critical apparatus choices. It's like, well, not straight out. We got a general idea, though. Anyways, God preserved His word to all generations. Look at the things, seeing all of Thy word. By Gail Riplinger, by the way. Anyone else hypothesizes. I like to examine it by the standards laid down by, here's the people he examines it by. This is quite a name. Dunmillow, Dummelow, Lange, Ellicott, Bullinger, I know those ones, Williams, Chaffer, Pink, Clarkey, Dake, I remember that one, the Charismatic King James Reference Bible or something like that, Study Bible. Schofield, and Kroll, who was, he's got a radio program out here. It's like, it used to be called, I don't think it's called anymore, Back to the Bible. I don't think it's called that anymore. It might still be. I don't think so, though. Woodrow Kroll. And the Psalm commentary, I don't have it here, but the Psalm commentary in the catalog that Dr. Ruckman wrote was just a response to Kroll, as far as I know. Well, not just a response, but it was geared toward... It was geared against him and what he says. That's the way I should put it. And no, I'm not slipping and stuff like that because I'm scared and I'm terrified and I'm nervous about just watching James White's little fingers. Let's see. And Kroll in their commentaries, and then examine it in the light of Nestle's Greek text, Hort's Greek text, the United Bible Society's Greek text, the Received text, and 4 Greek lexicons, plus Trench's synonyms, West's Nuggets, and Thayer's lexicon. So, he uses a lot of stuff when he looks at his King James Bible. And James White asserts that Dr. Ruckman doesn't pay any attention to the Greek and stuff like that. He just uses it whenever it's convenient. He looks at this stuff. He learns what he needs to know, but he has a final authority. James White doesn't have one, so he doesn't know what to do with people that say this Bible's perfect. Like everyone did. Not necessarily like us, inspired, but everyone believed it was God's Word before people started messing around with it in like the 1800s and stuff like that. I mean, even the drunks did. And I'm spitting all over the place here, probably because they haven't eaten too much. Thayer's lexicon. I then recommend you examine it in the light of history, your own conscience and experience, and then examine it according to the critical theories of, and by the way, before I get into this Ruckman list, it is 8:23, 5:47 in the old evening. 8:23:14. So this would be Friday before my last Saturday at the Cooperstown Dreams Park. And my last Saturday before I start school on the 28th. So anyways, just letting you guys know where I'm at. This is when I watch these videos. They've been out there for a long time. I'm sure that those who have seen them have saw them, and those that have decided to go with them have gone with them, and those that have refused to go with them have not gone with them and are not going to. But this will come out, and I guess I'm kind of dealing a little bit more specifically with what James White says on YouTube. So far I've been talking, and notice I'm saying, discussion kind of popped into my mind, discussing. That's what James White says a lot. It sounds scholarly, and argumentation, and Complutensian polyglot, and stuff like that. That all sounds great, and it all sounds good, but I'm just going to say I've been talking about this stuff that is in James White's book. Starting to talk a little bit more about his videos. I'm planning on making a video that shows the best of James White. So that'll be an awful lot of fun. So here's the Ruckman list. Theories of Kenyon, Caldwell, Hort, Hossecure, Miller, Scrivener, Zuntz, Sturz, Pickering, von Soden, Tinsendorf, Tregellis, I always want to say Tregellis, that's how it sounds though. Fee, Reisbach, Hodges, Miller, Hills, Moulton, Rendall, Bruce, Bergen, and Fuller. After comparing it, and right there, he's not making a list about people that hate the Bible. He's making a list according to the critical theories of, and he lists Miller, and he also Hill, and I think Moulton might be some kind of a King James person, or at least a TR guy. Rendell, I don't know. Bruce, no. Bergen and Fuller, yes. After comparing it with the RV, ASV, Moffat, Weymouth, Goodspeed, Godspeed. Don't wish these things Godspeed. RSV, NRSV, and notice I also say via and stuff like that, like I'm from Italy. I'm trying not to do that when I'm doing the audiobook for Hazardous Materials. That'll be coming out soon as well. Just kind of reading a paragraph, stop the tape. Read a paragraph, stop the tape. So, I'll come up with a better way to do it pretty soon. I don't know, that way I can keep down on errors as much as I can, and I'm not as good a reader as Bill Grady when he did his audiobook, or any of these other people that did like Moby Dick, Chronicles of Narnia, The Hobbit. What else do I have? The Divine Comedy and C.S. Lewis's stuff. I'm not as good as those people, but trying to do the best I can and make it presentable at least. Goodspeed, RSV, and he's comparing these to the King James. RSV, NRSV, Montgomery. Okay, never really heard of that one. Centennial, Riverside, Berkeley, TEV, NWT, ASV, NASV, NIV, and NKJV. And that's the end of that paragraph, and I still have 7 minutes and 21 seconds, so that's good. That's till their pizza's done. And when you have completed your examination, use it, the AV, as an absolute standard for truth in judging the works, writings, religion, and theology, and theology and findings of every man listed above. That would be, ouch, this one right here. King James, wait, let me do this. King James, 1611, authorized version, just like James White. Isn't that great? And then kind of flip the pages. It kind of hangs in your hand. Look at that. Okay, never mind. Sorry. So, but this right here was the first purification of God's Word of the King James Bible. The seventh in English, the first of the King James. We'll get into that on other videos. We'll get into the 1 John 5:7 where he's like, it's just not true. And now everyone knows it, Sam. All this stuff that he did. We'll get into that, okay? Give me a little while. It's been out there for only like 50 years. So just give me a little while to get around to it on these videos that I'm trying to make and trying to go to college and work at the same time. And by the way, I didn't ask the government for my job either. Of course, I almost did get in because of family last year, but anyways. Well, actually not because of family, but I had, I think I had three family members that used to work there and they asked you for them, but anyways. And here's the end. I would walk right past James White looking for a biblical scholar. But as far as that goes, I would walk right past, I would look, I'm sorry, we're going to read this again, okay? I want you guys to get the full impact of this. I would walk right past James White looking for a biblical scholar, but as far as that goes, I would walk right by him looking for a man. I'm going to try to put some kind of thing on this video that indicates that it's going a little bit more into James White than earlier ones. I'm not sure. The other ones were kind of more like that, but these ones are starting to get a little bit more into the videos because, you know, it's fresh in my mind. So probably as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to go back into just reading this and then just saying what I have said before. King James Bible given by inspiration. Those Bibles trying to get you off from final authority. Hey, and we'll deal with that too. I know that they say stuff about that as well. We'll make a video. Don't worry. Not everything that we say is justifiable. I'll let you know when I see it. Okay? Let's examine everything. Alright? Let me just make sure my blanket's not crooked. That kind of is. Oh well. We've got 3 minutes and 56 seconds. And if it doesn't turn out to be exactly that on your video, I'm sorry. Here's the quote. Actually, wait, I already read that. There goes some toys. I despise with the utmost contempt any trucker who would sell his soul for scholarly recognition in the scholarly community, page 73, by stealing a Christian's faith in the King James Bible. I agree with that. Guys, listen to that again. If you believe the King James Bible, you're not going anywhere. If you don't believe the King James Bible, you've already gone. You can come back. You can see the truth behind what James White is saying. It's kind of doubtful that you're going to, because you're going to keep on saying everything else. And here, Dr. Ruckman scholarly discusses for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 pages, John 6:47. And I do have a part that's bracketed. I don't believe that we're really going to have enough time to get into that, though. Good stuff's going to be coming out. I've got an opportunity to write 2 books. I'm going to be getting the history of the, how does it go? The history of the debate over 1 John 5:7-8, something like that. And I'm going to be getting a copy of that. And I'm going to try to get King James Unjustly Accused. Maybe Ed Penninger will be able to help me out with that. I guess he's going to try to look. I'll have to email him and tell him that I'm already getting 1 John 5:7-8, that book. And that will scholarly discuss. So scholarlyleo, discuss 1 John 5:7-8, which James White did not do. We'll get into that, and we'll make a pretty detailed video on that one, I'm thinking. It wasn't going to be so detailed, I was thinking, but now I'm thinking, if I can get that book, I was just going to flash it, or say, here, or say, look at this book, this will help you guys out on this, but I'm going to actually have it, and I'm going to try to write a book to go along with it. Sorry that there aren't going to be any acknowledgments to that book in there. We're trying to get away from a tulip Calvinist, so it's going to be kind of tough. But it should be pretty easy with God's help. See you all on YouTube later on. We'll continue our review of the scholarship-only controversy on page 184. Here I am spitting all over everything. I take this out, look for the spit. 184. And comparing spiritual things with spiritual, guys. And there goes my whiteboard. Smash, crash, bang. This is it. Alright, this is it. We'll reference it when it comes up. God bless this book. Believe every word. Thank you. See y'all later on.